Hello everyone and welcome to Power Skills Level 2, where we talk about thinking skills, and we discuss that we are going to touch on three aspects of thinking skills, and we started talking about self-image. In this video, I would like to demonstrate how self-image literally makes your business or career success and results. And I want to show you the direct relationships between the results that you get and your self-image. I would like to also tell you what is the number one mistake everyone makes when they want to transform their self-image, the practice that everyone goes into and that it's counterproductive. So this practice is not only not helpful, but it's also damaging. And finally, I would like to share what are the three principles that both in my experience as a coach and in scientific research prove that are super effective in transforming self-image. Let's dive into it. Okay, I would like you to meet Margaret and Maria. They're both at the same age and they're both very passionate about human resource management. They would like to start a career in human resource management. They both applied to 3 companies and they both got rejected. So the first company did not even notify them. The second company sent an automatic generic email, and the third one sent an email who looked like was written by a human being. What Maria did is, the next day after the final rejection, she woke up, she was feeling down, she did not go to the gym, she did not go to do her morning ritual. She spent the entire day wandering around, she went to take some coffee, then watched some Netflix, and pretty much this was a lost day for her. Margaret, on the other hand, woke up, did her gym, did her morning ritual related to her self-image, and had a brilliant idea. She emailed back the last company that rejected her, the email written by a human, and very kindly asked for feedback of what she can improve in the future. She complimented the company of this kind reply. She said that she's going to recommend that company to all her friends, and finally she very kindly asked for feedback saying that this would make a huge difference in her career. She did everything right and received an answer saying that the company is looking for someone with more experience. So what Margaret did is she applied for a mentorship program, and she specifically said that she wanted her mentor to be an HR. A very nice and experienced HR lady became her mentor. She saw such level of commitment and such level of passion that she took Margaret in her company as an intern for free for some months. But Margaret did not stop there. She volunteered to help the biggest podcast for human resource manager in the country for free. So yes, Margaret was doing a lot of pro bono work, but while she was doing so, her resume, her expertise, and her value rose and rose. At the same time, Maria did the same thing. She went through the same motions, but with less commitment and with less passion. She also signed up for a mentorship program, but she missed her first meeting with her mentor because she overslept. Here is what Maria was saying. About the 3 companies that rejected her, Maria said that they were super lame and no one there understood HR. This is why she was not selected. She also said that her mentor is very lousy when she was the one missing the meeting, the first online meeting with her mentor. Now let's examine the next chapter of Margaret and Maria's life. They are both applying for a startup competition in Italy. It's a really nice program. It's an amazing program. They're going to meet investors. They're going to meet mentors. They will be fully funded to spend 2 days in Milan. And this is kind of a dream for any young person who wants to be an entrepreneur or who simply wants to meet amazing, successful people and live a dynamic life. So they both get rejected. Here is what Margaret does. Yes, she suffers. She feels emotional pain. She allows herself to feel that pain for a certain period of time. And then she jumps back in. She discusses this situation with her mentor, and her mentor suggests another program which is for human resource interns, and it's again fully paid, and it's again outside of the country, and Margaret goes there and does that program. What Maria says is she shuts down even more and she believes everyone around her are just idiots. Fast forward 5 years later, Margaret has her own startup related to human resource management, and Maria works at a mediocre human resource position. Now, I want to tell you three super important things. First of all, both Margaret and Maria are real cases. They're not cases of one lady. Maria is an image which combines several cases, and Margaret is an image that combines several cases. But those are true stories. The second thing is that they're both equally intelligent and talented. And the third thing is that what makes the difference is their self-image. They're both not the most confident girls in the world. But in Margaret's self-image, she believes that when she puts the effort, she can succeed. Deep inside her, there is this resilience and this deeply rooted belief that she can succeed. She takes ownership for her actions, she takes responsibility for her actions, and even though she's feeling emotional pain, she's not converting that pain to suffering through constant mental chatter and storytelling, which is telling her a story which is taking away power from her. So Margaret has this deeply rooted belief that with effort she can succeed, and she also feels the emotional pain but doesn't turn it into suffering through storytelling. And she has a faster cycle of going down and bouncing back. And the more time she goes down and bounces back, at a certain point, she maintains a great level of resilience. On the other hand, Maria has a very fragile ego. She denies to see the fact that she has very low self-esteem and very low confidence. And in order to protect herself from the pain and from the suffering, she keeps blaming the world outside. There is always someone else to blame. Maria is not aware of those deep-rooted limiting beliefs that she's not good enough and that she will be always left out. What I wanted to show you with these examples is how your self-image can literally produce your results. Now, I would like to say what is the one thing that most people do when it comes to transforming their self-image, and that is super counterproductive and actually can cause damage. This is analyzing and talking about this. What I've seen many people do is they keep saying, yeah, I'm not confident because my parents didn't cheer me up when I was at school. Yeah, I lack self-esteem because my teacher in first grade smashed me and had so much critique around me. This is what they do. And here I'm not so much saying that you're blaming the world outside. I'm saying that you keep telling yourself these stories of why this limiting belief, how it happened, and what it is. This is not helping. Analyzing is not helping. Talking about it, it's not helping. Thinking about it, it's not helping. It's only cementing this belief and making it stronger. I did share that the first step towards transforming your self-image is becoming aware of your deepest and most persistent limiting beliefs. But being aware is different than analyzing. Being aware is connecting to that belief, feeling the pain of that belief, accepting it, but then being able to let it go, to stop thinking about it, to stop talking about it, and to find instead something meaningful in your life that you're going to put your mental and emotional energy in. Now, I know from experience that this is so much easier said than done, but I want to have you understand this. It's so important. Analyzing yourself will not help. You don't need mental analysis and storytelling. You need physical awareness with the intention and goal to experience the emotion and let it go. So the number one way you will not transform your self-image is through analysis. What are three tactics or three strategies that always work when it comes to transforming our self-image? Before I share those three tactics though, I would like to point out something important. Don't think that we are so broken inside and so fragile. Human beings are emotionally and psychologically deeply resilient. So when I speak of self-image, I'm not saying that everyone is flawed or broken and they need to put tons of energy and efforts towards self-transformation. This is not the message. The message, though, is that all of us hold some beliefs, feelings, and states. The loop between a thought and an emotion, it becomes a state, which make us less productive, less motivated, and less ambitious. And because this state that we're in, the state that we're in, our thinking and our emotions are our engine, this is why I'm saying that making an effort to improve your self-image and your confidence can reap great results. Now, let me explain what are the 3 strategies to transform your self-image, which sound simple but are not so simple to do. And this is why I will also give you some activities, ideas with them. Okay, so strategy number 1 in transforming your self-image. You won't be surprised. Mindfulness. Exactly. What mindfulness does is it allows us to step back from our thoughts, to step back from our emotions. And when we have this space between our thoughts and emotions and our mind, we can easily process them and let go. Part of transforming the wounded parts of your self-image is experiencing the emotion and then letting it go. And this is what mindfulness does. So strategy number 1 is mindfulness. And you will see that throughout the power skills, I have stated that mindfulness is a strategy for developing pretty much any power skill. So if you would like to take a mindfulness practice, this can go in the form of meditation, it can go in the form of yoga, and as previously, I have suggested 2 apps, Calm.com and Headspace, that you can try for free for meditation. Additionally, in this module and in other Catapult Your Career modules and levels, we have guided visualizations, which are another form of mindfulness. So you can do meditation from an app, you can do yoga, or you can do one of our guided visualizations. Strategy number 1, mindfulness. Strategy number 2, getting really good at a skill. Now, why is this important? Because when we are about to transform our self-image, the one thing I mentioned doesn't work is analysis. Another thing that doesn't work is fake it till you make it, saying to yourself, I'm confident, and thus becoming confident. No one in the world became confident if they were deeply unconfident just because they said it to themselves. Or if someone did, that's a huge exception to the rule. What happens when you develop a skill and you get better and better at it? When you do that, and especially when you praise yourself for every small win, what is happening is that you're sending a very important message to your subconscious mind. You're sending the message of, I can do it, I can improve, I can succeed. So the second great strategy for transforming your self-image, which can be also very beneficial for your career or business, is to identify a skill or a competence that will help you in business, that will help you in your career. Break it down into small milestones and start improving and celebrating every win. So this is the second strategy. The third strategy is power statements. Now, I just said that positive affirmations rarely work because we cannot lie to our brain. Power statements, though, are much more different. So I would like to give you an example of positive affirmation and power statement. Positive affirmation is, I'm good at chess. Power statement is, every day I'm practicing chess and I'm becoming better. Positive affirmation is, I'm a great artist. Power statement is, every day I improve my art, I find this inspiration, and I become a great artist. Positive affirmation is, I'm confident. Power statement is, every day I'm connecting to my true self and becoming more confident. So the difference between a positive affirmation and a power statement is that a power statement, it's not about lying to yourself about something that it's not true, but it's saying to yourself that you are on the path of becoming. And that's what makes it a power statement, and that's what makes it so effective. Along with power statements, I would like to add a couple of more strategy which we can stack to become a habit. So we have this micro habit of power statements, but then we can stack other habits. There is a very special neuron connection between the brain and the hand. So when you handwrite things, it becomes ingrained in your brain. So if you choose to do power statements, I suggest that you write them down. Another micro habit that you can stack to your power statements is gratitude. Think about 3 things about yourself that are true and 1 that is in progress. Let me give an example. I'm a great coach. I have had more than 3,000 clients in my career. I have organized 3 huge conferences, and I'm becoming an influencer. So the 3 are true. This one is in the process. Along with power statements, you can express gratitude for 3 things that are true and 1 which is in the process of becoming. And finally, if you really want to make this power statement habit super effective and super powerful, along with the power statement and the gratitude, you can have weekly micro win celebration. So throughout the week, spend some time writing down your wins for the week. And when I do this with clients, I notice that most of the people take for granted almost all of their wins. The fact that you exercised in the morning for 5 days or for 3 days, the fact that you are on time for a meeting, all of those are micro wins. Our brain is evolutionary biased to notice the negative things in our life so that it can protect us from harm and danger. This is how our brain has evolved. But in the modern world, this doesn't help. So adding some time in your week where you celebrate your micro wins can greatly help you. In summary, your self-image dictates your productivity, your decisions, and how far you get towards your goals. Now, there is some great literature about this. You can read Psycho-Cybernetics, which defines the concept of self-image. But the one thing you should remember is that analyzing, storytelling, thinking, and talking about limiting beliefs is counterproductive. 3 ways in which you can transform self-image are mindfulness, developing a skill, and power statement, plus gratitude, plus celebrating micro wins. I cannot wait to see you in the next video when we are going to talk about critical thinking and biases.